Hi, my name is Colin Sisper. This is the Phys 2212 Lab 4 bar magnet. Introductions. The purpose of this experiment is to create and measure magnetic fields that come from magnets and create a model using data that can predict the magnetic field based on the distance from the magnets. And then here are the findings of the experiment. Key concepts. The formula used in this experiment is the magnetic field formula, which is a formula that uses current and distance from magnetic point charge in order to find the magnetic field associated with an area. Model. The assumptions that are used to do this experiment are that we assume that the magnitude of the magnetic field due to the bar magnet is proportional to some constant times the power of the distance, and we assume that the x-axis is defined by your magnetometer app points along the width of your phone, the y-axis points along the height, and the x-axis points out of the screen. The scenario is that we will create the phone diagram on the diagram below and record the magnetic field of the various distances to find the magnetic field. The experiment is one, we find where on the phone is used to find magnetic field, and then record distances from magnets to find the specific magnetic field readings. Use the spreadsheet given to find the trend line, and then use code to create a visualization. And here's the trend line that we found from the experiment, and this was the code along with the results, which resulted in these numbers here. And some possible sources of error for this experiment were maybe some inaccuracies from manual measurement, and some inaccuracies in the magnet readings from the phone. What if you hadn't orientated your experiment to compensate for magnetic north and had to instead laid out your meter stick at some intermediate angle with respect to Earth's magnetic field? How would have your results changed? If the experiment was not magnetic north, there would be interference from our data and that of Earth. So we would have to calculate that in order to get our data. What if you were to stick two identical magnets together end to end and run the experiment again? How would you expect your measurements to differ? The magnetic moments would double what it was previously, so our data values would be less distance to reach our fields. Thank you.